In this haircut tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a clean fade step by step, fixing common barber mistakes. So in this haircut tutorial, we're doing a compressed skin fade. Now, my client and I like a really dark look. However, when we cut my client's hair, there's a very fine line between having a full look on top and seeing the scalp on top. So we've decided to go with the scissors. So you would have seen me just testing out what guards could potentially work and what length we're currently running on top. But we just decided to go with the scissors. We felt like we'd preserve, I felt like that we'd preserve the fullness much easier with the scissors. Get an even cut rather than going down, because my client has straight hair. Now, I'm just doing simple cutting on top. And again, so we do a very compressed look. I've always quite struggled with the compressed fades, but this haircut, I feel like I really did it for my client. Now, starting with my guard line, my skin line, and I go with the clipper with the lever closed. Doing this allows me, or if I find it much easier to get out the skin line doing it this way. So then I open the clipper up, set in my guide line, and then to fade it out, I open and close my lever. I close and open my lever. Now this haircut is awesome. My client really suits this haircut because it's a very dark look. And this is a great haircut if you're looking to be in any profession. It's a very professional look. It's a very clean and tidy look. You could do this in the classroom. If you're in sales, you can do it. It's very presentable. It's just a great hairstyle. So now, with the compressed look, I'm used to stretching my guidelines, and that's why I've never really been able to do a compressed fade like this video. But then I use a lot of scissor over comb, you're gonna see. And I find that using the scissors helped me do the compressed fade a lot easier. Now, just blending up into the top, blending up into the bulk. I'm making sure that my guidelines are super close together. And not only that, I'm doing a lot of detailing. So I was still able to do this haircut within the required appointment time, or maybe slightly over. I might have been 5 minutes behind. Now here I'm doing the scissor over comb. And I found that this haircut, doing the scissor over comb, allowed me not to push up the fade, so it kept the fade dark, and I was able to clean up not only the shape, but clean up the hair that I wanted to get rid of. All right, now I'm detailing towards the lineup, toward the vertical bar, keeping it as dark as possible without it looking like a choppy fade. Now this shop location is a little different to the shop that we're usually at. This is our Bexley North shop. Our Revesby shop is currently undergoing renovations, and at the time of recording this voiceover, I believe that we're opening in a day or two. So it's a different shop environment. It's a lot faster. There's more barbers here, but our Revesby shop, our home shop, it's going to be 4 chairs rather than 6. Now it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Now I'm fading out the guideline that I just set in, and I'm making sure that I'm not only flicking out, but I'm staying present through the haircut, so I actually remember what my job is, or what my job that I need to do is. And I'm flicking out, guidelines super small, and you're going to see me come in not only with the half guard to detail, but I'm going to be doing a lot of scissor over comb on this side as well. I've got my 2 or 3 guard. And with this haircut, we like a specific shape as well, because the hair towards the parietal ridge of my client, so between the crown and the top of the vertical bar, my client's head protrudes. So if we leave too much weight and too much length on top, it's going to protrude out. It's going to look like an upside down, well, his head's going to look like a Dorito. So that's where I found that the scissor over comb was easiest, or was the best technique for me to do to achieve not only the haircut shape that we want and not turning my client into a Dorito, whereas at the same time we're keeping the darkness and the fullness of the overall look. So scissor over comb is exactly like just cutting the top of the hair with the scissors. So if you start on one part of the head and you move to the next part, you need to use a guideline that you just previously cut as your guideline for the next section you're going to cut. And that's what I've learned. I've just done this by trial and error, watching some of the other barbers in the shop as well. All right, and you can already see that the fade's looking super compressed, super dark. And I haven't even done the skin line yet. I haven't even gone with the foil shaver, and that's gonna make the fade pop even more. You can already see it come together. Now we're talking about how we want to debulk the hairline. Because with my client wants his hairline to last as long as possible, but his hairline doesn't grow in even lengths. So we were just discussing how or what ways we can go about doing the hairline. So before I do that, I'm gonna skin the sides. But what we end up doing with the hairline, I don't even remember what we ended up doing. But anyways, with the skin line, this is how I've been doing it recently. I'll go slightly below the initial line that I go in with my clipper. I'll go just slightly underneath with the trimmer. And then if I need to fade it out, I will. And then I use the foil shaver to skin. This is just a technique that I've been trying out. You can see me fading it out with the clipper. I'm still just trying it out. I saw one of the barbers on YouTube that I'm subscribed to do it, Tito Cuts, and I thought I'd just try it out. Because he's quite efficient when he cuts hair, and this helped him. Or it's something similar. I didn't really watch properly. All right, same thing on the other side. Realize I've got to fade it out a little more. And just look at how busy the shop is. All of our barbers are busy. This is awesome. And this is exactly how I want to build up our Revesby shop as well. Luckily for me, I run our Revesby shop. And I'm so grateful that I've been given the chance to from our barber Chris, who's the boss, the mastermind. And yeah, he's given me the chance to run our Revesby shop. All right, now before I go in with the foil, making sure, you already know what I'm doing. Using the trimmer, getting all the hair down. All right, now with the foil shaver, I flick out towards the top, and I don't use as much pressure the closer to the actual fade that I get. So I use the foil shaver as if I'm fading. So I'll flick out at the top, and then I'll even come down. I'll press down. So you might see me go down with the foil shaver, and that's a way that I've been able to get out the skin line as well. Just look at the fade. The fade's coming along really nice. It's dark, it's compressed, and my client also wants the skin line as high as possible. So I'm working on it. I'm working on this compressed fade for him as much as I can. I'm looking to improve this fade every single haircut. All right, now to debulk the front, using clipper over comb with the 1.5 guard open. So this doesn't take too much off. Now I'm I don't remember. Oh, that might have been a one guard. All right, and I'm just fading it out, making sure that I'm not creating a lighter spot in the hairline. I'm not showing the head at all. I'm not showing the head or the scalp at all. And I take pride in being able to create a haircut for my clients that my clients not only feel a part of, but my clients have control over their look as well. Because look, I want to help my clients look their best and feel their best. I help my clients go from being unconfident to unforgettable. And this is how I believe it's done. Now I'm just fading out the lineup a little bit, just so it matches the side, and just so there's no ugly guidelines in it. That's my next cut. I start in the middle, and then I go to the weaker side. Now my client touches up his own lineup sometimes. So I'm going to the weaker side, and you're gonna see me use my secret tip. And why am I checking the angle so much? I'm checking the angle so much because I'm using my client's forehead as my guide for the vertical bar. Whatever angle the forehead is the angle that you want to do for your vertical bars. That way, your haircut's tailored to your client. It actually is specifically fitted to your client, and it just helps your haircuts look symmetrical to your client as well. Now I'm using the Slimline Pro Elias, and these are the newer models, so they're much more powerful. They have a motor of a modern trimmer, and I personally feel that for myself I have better leverage. I can move this trimmer a lot easier, and that's what's also going to help you with your lineups and your haircuts. Well, especially your lineups and getting the best lineups is using a trimmer that you're comfortable using. Again, this is your overcomb. Just getting rid of any little hair that I need to get rid of, making sure the shape is even. So I'm constantly checking the haircut from different angles. I'll step in front, I'll step in the mirror, see how the darkness is, see how the shape is. I'm just going over the lineup, just fading out the lineup. So I noticed a few lines in the lineup that I needed to fade out. Now I write down a lot of my clients' haircuts. So I write down the length that we do this client's mustache, the length that we do this client's goatee, and I might write down maybe the length on top or how I cut the top, just little notes, keeping it as simple as possible. The less writing, the better. And that way I'm not only able to give my client their haircut every single week, week in and week out, but they feel important. Lining up the handlebars. Alright, when you're using the razor, pull the skin tight and hold the blade flat. That's all I need to say. Pull the skin tight, hold the blade flat. The harder you pull, the more hair you're going to cut. Same with the beard, same with the mow, same with the hairline. The harder you pull, the stronger you pull, the more hair you're going to cut. So just be cautious of that. That way you don't cut hair that you didn't want to cut. Alright. Doing the hairline, same thing. The majority of barbers in Australia that I've seen do not put their clients all the way down. I don't know why. I have no clue. Logically, to me, this is the best angle and the most efficient angle to not only do your client's eyebrows, but to also line up your clients. So I don't know why barbers don't do it, but this is the way that I get to stand out. Now with the eyebrows, you want to keep your client's eyebrows as full, as dark as possible, and you want to follow the natural shape. So these are just easy pointers. With most men, you will be able to see the natural shape because the growth doesn't really, you'll be able to see the difference between the hair that is supposed to be there and the hair that you need to get rid of. It's unlikely that you'll need to create a whole new eyebrow because all the hair is super even and it's the same length and the same color. Just want to follow the natural brow. You don't want to make them thin unless your clients really want to, but ideally, thicker eyebrows, darker eyebrows, symmetrical eyebrows are the most attractive look on men. So knowing that, just do what you can. Just touching up the lineup even more. And look, I smashed this haircut. This is as the most compressed fade I've been able to do with my client. I've also known my client since we were little. We went to primary school together. And yeah, so we've got a lot of history behind us. That's also why we're able to have such an intimate haircut experience. It's why my client feels comfortable voicing what he wants me to do for his haircuts, because we do have that that relationship, that history together. All right, and here's how the cut turned out. Dark, compressed, symmetrical, and look, I thought it turned out great. If you're in Sydney, Australia, and you want a haircut from me, you want to go from unconfident to unforgettable, and you want to look your best doing so, book your haircut with me, link in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you next time.